There's the four types of people we have in this country. We have the sheep. They go about their daily lives. They don't know anything. We got the sheepdogs. That's the ones that stand and try and protect the sheep from the wolves. And we've got the wolves. And then we have the vamps. Okay? These guys are Illuminati. Did I spell that even close? Who cares? Who cares how I spelled it? Illuminati. They drink the blood of children. They live off adrenochrome. How many people use Google? How many people use Android? And you know you support child trafficking? No. What is Google's operating system? It's Adreno. What is their search engine? Chrome. How about Verizon? Who has Verizon? Moloch. Verizon worships the god of Moloch.
I just found that out a week ago.
Big corporations that we're all supporting innocently, and you're supporting child trafficking. They fund it. They create foundations to pay the wolves to traffic the children. These guys are more numerous than you think. Many, many, many of them.
Bigger than Hollywood.
It's bigger than that.
I've heard that they've got armies
Oh yeah,
ready to,
protectorates.
and armies ready to.
What if I told you most of them pose as if they're helping the children?
Yeah.
What if I told you some of them were UNICEF?
Yeah.
What if I told you they were a lot of ex-military groups with special arrest powers working under, say, Veterans for Children?
So that's what I heard just recently.
And they're protecting the Illuminati and the vampires.
Just recently I read that they've got all these ex-military.
And what if I told you that they put a price on the head of people like Tim Holmseth and me and others?
Yes.
Many, many, many vamps. But here's the group I want to talk about right now. These are county commissioners and mayors and attorneys and judges, police officers, SWAT team leaders. They're in our communities every day. And they're running legal businesses on the side. What if I tell you I know a SWAT team leader in California who, when he was in the United States Army stationed in Washington, that the attorney that I was telling you about formed 3 corporations just for him under an alias name. 3 corporations while he was in the Army. After he left the Army and he became a police officer and he graduated his way up to SWAT, and he's a SWAT team leader for 2 counties. He's won 2 awards in the state of California for the #1 in surveillance in the state of California. And he's protected by everybody. But he also protects everybody. What if I told you in the state of California in 41 counties, the sheriff is also the coroner? Ew. And what if I told you he's also in the Masonic Lodge? And sometimes the sheriff's office, the Masonic Lodge, and the coroner's office is all in the same building. Look at Placerville, look at Auburn. There's 2 cities right there. They're in the same building. So he could shoot you, write the report, cremate your body, bury it, cover it up, and he can do it on the behalf of a judge who told him to.
I got a question.
It's a perfect storm. There's nobody to answer to. But remember, you can draw any circle, build the Great Wall of China in it. You can write a name of an organization in it.
Yes.
I don't care if it's the Masons, the Shriners, or what it is. Okay? And half of them have no idea what's going on, and they're a good, honest, righteous people. A lot of builders are Masons. Okay? But until they reach those upper levels, it's like this. On the back of a $1 bill, you'll see this symbol. This is the Pindar. This is the Council of the 13. This is the Council of 300. You can write the name of every organization on earth, and when it hits this level and it goes up into here, it's controlled. This is all controlled by the Illuminati, by the Pindar, ultimately by the Pindar. You have to understand these things,
Yes.
how they work, so that you're not blaming every Mason. You're not blaming every one in every organization. It's like when I was turning in the evidence. I was turning in, and sometimes I'd get one person, sometimes I'd get another, and I found out one's righteous and one's evil. You find that out over time.
It's been bothering me ever since.
So, anyway, the wolves. The wolves are the ones that set up legal corporations to traffic children. And they're protected by the state. Anybody can bait a pedophile. I mean, you can get an 18-year-old girl that looks like she's 12 and set her up in a little house out in the country somewhere with great military fanfare. After a pedophile shows up, come in and arrest the guy. Anybody can, that's called baiting. You can bait them and they'll show up. And you can take them down, and you can do it on high definition camera, good camera equipment, and you can put that on the air, and you can raise a tremendous amount of money off that video, and you can use it pretending you're doing good work for children. And he might have just been one of the ones you wanted to take out. Because this is what happens. Now you got these legal corporations, lawyers, judges, family courts, CPS, you got trucking companies, airlines. Solomar Airways, based out of Boeing Field, was set up by J. Scott Greer, the attorney I was telling you about in New York and Bellevue. A legal airline, but it flies cargo. Evergreen, a legal corporation. The state can't interfere in commerce. Title 15, it protects them just as well as it was. I was telling you how to protect yourself. Yeah.
So the
You think I learned this just by...
The state can't step in and do anything about it.
No. No, they set up legal corporations to do this. And they do it under an alias name. So let's just say they set up a short distance trucking company, and you see a bunch of these little 20-foot trucks with the roll-up doors, right? For local, right? Usually they always have an anesthesiologist or a dentist or a veterinarian or somebody who could drug the kids so that it's quiet in the back of the truck. But let's say they didn't give them enough drugs and the kids are yelling and screaming. They come up to a stoplight next to a cop car. And the cop car hears all the screaming kids from the back of this truck. He pulls the truck over. Well, what the attorney did is he goes in and he sets up 4 or 5 of those companies. And they do something like this: JRE1, JRE2, JRE5, JRE7, JRE9. And they set up all these trucking companies. But they only use one at a time. So a truck gets caught.
Then it switches to the next one.
The driver's the fall guy. He goes to jail. They just changed the magnetic sign on the door to JRE2.
Does the driver even know?
Sometimes not, if they drugged him well enough. A lot of times the driver's sitting in their truck, the car goes low in the back, they hit the side of the car, go ahead, take it to this location. But he becomes a patsy when the cop stops him. And he goes to jail having a couple of kids in the back. And they just do it again. And I just got the figures for last month. It was 577 kids went missing in the system. No, this isn't what was taken. This went missing in the system last month.
They don't know where they are.
In a month.
I cried when I got that yesterday. But I get those reports from all the states. And that was just Arizona.
Pizzagate in 2016 and all the media shut it down. And then we've got now Epstein Island. Well, I know QS. Evergreen, yeah. Evergreen's a shipping company. Hillary Rodham Clinton. See, when we remove the politics, the right, the left, and we started to look at the evil. George Bush was evil, Hillary Rodham Clinton's evil, Obama's evil. You start to really recognize that these are big corporations doing some very, very, very evil stuff.
I'm not going to write the name down here. These are 3 cargo container companies that we've identified as child trafficking companies. One is owned by Hillary Rodham Clinton's foundation. One is owned by Paul Pelosi, Nancy's husband. Okay, so we went into Pier 45 in San Francisco. We burned it to the ground.
When was this?
A couple months ago. Okay, in Beirut, in Hong Kong, at the fires in Brussels at the World Trade Center, several other big major fires that have happened in the last couple of weeks. We've been taking out evergreen all over the world.
Nice.
So
In Beirut,
what is Evergreen?
It's just like a big
cargo container company,
big
shipping
ship,
containers.
big shipping container.
Okay, we've been taking evergreen out all over the world. So in Beirut, since we train Mossad, Israeli military industries, we sent them into the tunnels to rescue all the children under about 2.5 square block area. They even had an underground hospital, underground dormitory, underground everything. Lots of children under there. And we sent them in, and they came out, and they lit the place on fire, and that's why you saw smoke long before the missiles hit. It was on fire. It's pretty hard to burn down concrete and steel. It's real hard to burn it. So anyway, they spread some stuff around in there and they lit it on fire to cause a smoke screen. Because if you remember how that sat, you had that kind of island and you had 3 buildings like this, and then you had a big glass building like this, and most of town is over here. This building was designed to stop the blast, right? What's that?
Silos? Green silos?
No, these are concrete
They're structures.
structures. Okay, they're filled with evergreen shipping containers, and underneath is child trafficking tunnels all over underneath.
I knew that.
They'll lead clear into the city, mainly led into this building, so the trucks can back up over here and pick them up. Okay? So they went in there, they rescued the kids, they set the building on fire,
And then a missile.
and then our military estimates engineering. Depending on the width of the concrete wall, how much steel reinforcement rebar they think is inside the wall, how many shipping containers around the outside of the wall, they try and estimate what size bomb to throw in there to take that out. They don't care if this building hits, they're trafficking them out of that building too. So they didn't care if that one blew up either. But this is what they were after. So they estimated what size bomb. And they happened to, in this case, use a Moab. A mother of all bombs.
And it boom.
Well, in between the time intelligence went in and located the kids and planned the mission, and the mission took place, some containers had been moved. A couple other things they underestimated is the construction quality of those buildings. Over in the Middle East, not always is a building built up to our standards. So it had a little less rebar, a little wider spaced, a little more porous concrete. And so when that bomb went in, it blew a little bit harder than they expected it to. Nevertheless, it did its job, and it left a crater that opened up the tunnels. And then people could, the news media could look down in there and go, there's a whole bunch of tunnels. Now they crawl under the tunnels, they find the dormitories, they find the medical facilities, they find all this stuff, and they'll know exactly